Hello. The first thing we're going to do Hello once again. My name is Desiree Jordan. This is Des Swags. Earlier on I showed you in another video how to lay down a pattern on fabric and to read the pattern and to proceed from there. This is the next step from that same pattern, men's shirt that we learned how to read. We're now going to make the shirt up. So the first step we're going to do now is to iron certain parts of the garment. So first of all, it's the front of the shirt down here. So we're going to fold the front of the shirt, iron it, and get it ready to be stitched up before we put the shirt front onto the yoke of the back of the shirt and then put the back in. So that's the first thing that we're going to do before we do anything else. So here's the front of the shirt at the moment. As I've told you before, it's still on the table how I cut it out. The inside of the garment is the right side that's inside. This is the wrong side of the fabric, and these two are the inside. So while it's at this stage, I'm going to first of all iron the first one and crease it so we have a nice crease. And then I'm going to fold this bit again, which is the front of the shirt, tuck it in nicely. Give it a little stretch so that it finds itself and it gives it a sharp edge. So that's the front. That's the front of the top. I'll show you again properly because you can't see that. Let me just proceed with the other side first. Now I'm going to have to flip this on the other side and then seam it. I'll put some nips at the bottom so I have a rough idea. And I like to do that one first before I actually tuck it in. So I tuck this in. As you can see, that's the front of the shirt, and then I will stitch along down here, and that's how it goes. That's the bit first of all we're doing. So let me stitch this down, and at this point as well, before you do make up all the shirts, if you wish to get a nice finish, you can actually, after you've top stitched it down, actually do the buttonholes on here first. It, but we won't, but sometime I do, just to get them out of the way. So that's that done. So let me stitch this up. Right now, so that's stitched up. At the front it's stitched up, so we've got this bit here which is stitched up, and that's the front there. To bring it a bit closer to you, you can see there it's stitched along there. So that's the front of the garment. Sometimes for men's shirt, in the reverse, you can have that at the front of the shirt as well. But this fabric shows right from wrong, so in this occasion you can't. But some fabric doesn't show right from wrong, and you can turn it and have that as the front side of it. But today we're going to do this. So now we're going to do the tucks. Tucks at the back of the shirt. Right, so, and if we're reading the pattern, here's the pattern. and you can see at the top it has a tuck. So what we're going to do on the top of this is we're going to put the two together like this. Now sometimes you can stitch and go down, or sometimes you just tuck it at the top and place it like that and leave it open. But today we're going to stitch it down. And that stitch is only roughly around 2 inches. Now that I've stitched those two down, can you see? They're stitched. I'm going to turn the flaps in. And it's always, when you do darts and flaps and anything, you always turn it in towards the back. I'm just going to give it a nice little press to make it sharp, to add to the quality. So those are pressed. Now, remember we cut out 2 yokes. Here are the yokes. I'm going to take one of the yokes, one of them, and stitch it to back, and then afterward stitch the other one. Actually, because of years of experience, what I can do is stitch them both at the same time. Now that would be showing off, but it does make life a lot easier for me because I finish it quicker. So if I'm going to show off, but for your sake, I will pin it. I'll pin one here and one there. So we've got the center and one there. So I'll pin it. So you can see what I'm doing, but this just makes life much more easier. So I'll pin one here, pin that one there, pin that here, and then I'm going to turn it around. So now that is the wrong side, and that is the right side, and that's the right side. Can you see? There's the other second yoke. Can you see these two? The back has now gone on, the back of the shirt is now onto the back here. So I'm going to flip this around, and now you see the back of the shirt here, and there are those 2 tucks I was telling you about. So now we're going to use the other yoke, and we're going to put the other yoke on the other side. Now that's the wrong side and the right side here, and there you're facing the wrong side of the shirt here. So I pinned it the other side, so now I'm going to pin it here so that you can see where I'm at. And I'm going to pin this side here using the pin that I've already put in. Just put the two together, and then I'm going to pin the middle, and then I'm going to get on with it and sew the two at one time. So you can do one at a time if you wish, but here I've got them on to make it easier and quicker. I'll see you in a sec. Right, now the two are stitched together. There's one there, and there's the other one. When I bring them together like this, you can see the yoke has gone onto the back of the shirt. I'm going to give that a press. There you are. The raw edges is inside. And as you can see, now that's the front,